Billionaire Elon Musk has threatened to pull out of his bid to buy social media giant Twitter, demanding data on the number of fake accounts. Twitter has over 200 million daily users, and many of them are now wondering what will happen if the takeover bid goes ahead. Musk claims the $44 billion deal is driven by one aim: restoring free speech. NHK World's Yamada Nana brings us more from Los Angeles.
One of Twitter's fiercest critics is about to become its new owner. Billionaire Elon Musk has reached a deal to acquire the social media giant for about $44 billion.
The sudden acquisition by Elon Musk took the world by surprise.
I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech.
Musk's takeover in the name of free speech comes at a time of rising discontent in some parts of American society with the way social media is being run. This sentiment was fueled by Twitter's rocky relationship with one of its most famous users, former U.S. President Donald Trump. After the attack on the Capitol last January, Twitter permanently suspended Trump's account, saying there was a risk he could incite further violence. The move provoked an uproar, especially among Trump supporters, who saw it as outright censorship. Musk himself has criticized the suspension and said that he would allow Trump back on Twitter.
I do think that it was not correct to ban Donald Trump. I think that was a mistake because it alienated a large part of the country and did not ultimately result in Donald Trump not having a voice.
Hi. Hi. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yes.
Some people are concerned about Musk's actions, such as Carlos Chapman, who teaches corporate law involving mergers and acquisitions. She worries that more people may feel free to say anything they like on social media.
The reason that so many people have been on Twitter and it's lasted is that they do take effort to make it a safe space. The idea that one man can take it over may not be in our best interest.
Thank y'all so much for coming out to this discussion today.
When Chapman discusses freedom of speech in an online class, her students voiced the need for a clear set of guidelines.
Some things need to be restricted, especially when we're looking at vulnerable populations being targeted by majorities on these platforms. I'm thinking of immigrants, people of color, our LGBTQ community, all of the above. I would, for one, be very happy to see some more rules on what can be said.
Musk himself thinks that Twitter needs to deal with antisocial posts.
I think if there are tweets that are wrong, they should, and bad, those should be either deleted or made invisible. And a suspension, a temporary suspension is appropriate, but not a permanent ban.
Musk has suggested a few tweaks on Twitter, such as an edit button for published posts. He has also suggested that Twitter make public the criteria for deeming if a post is incendiary or misleading. One man who strongly supports Musk's vision is tech entrepreneur Joe Toscano. He feels that Twitter should be more transparent about how it moderates content. Toscano used to work for a major IT firm and had issues with how it took advantage of personal data to make huge profits. That's why he has high hopes for a new system that gives the power to individual users, not corporations, to control their own posts.
I think something Twitter could do is start to democratize that process a bit more. We could create systems like that allows general consensus to be had on whether content is content we should take down.
Musk says he intends to allow all legal speech that complies with local laws in the markets where Twitter operates. However, some experts say that is easier said than done.
It's really up to Twitter, it's up to Facebook to decide what content should be allowed on their platforms and what content shouldn't. But there's still this question of line drawing. But it's also, again, a difficult call about where does it begin and where does it end.
Whether the takeover of Twitter goes through or not, balancing freedom of speech with what is considered acceptable content remains a major challenge. Yamada Nana, NHK World, Los Angeles.